gonna close this and pretend I never saw that. Went down to the parts store, got the cooler line that was actually surprisingly cheap. It's another day. With any hope today, we will be washing this truck. But first, I'm excited to announce the window has finally arrived. So we're gonna replace that, and I'm gonna fix, I think, all of this first before I actually do the clean. That way I can put the window up, don't have to worry about water getting inside of it any more than it already has, and then get the door to maybe open and close. I'll give you guys the first look at this, because this is real nice. This is about as far as I can get the door open. Oh, that's good. That's good. Look at the mold. Can you smell it through the camera? I wish you could, because I can smell it in person. It's awful. This is just, ugh. Good news is the light still works. Well, it did a second ago. Hang on, let me make it work again. Look, there it goes. It works again. And these actually work. This still works, even though there's a nice piece of glass in it. Nice. So we're gonna start working on trying to get this out. My plan is to actually get the bolt for this upper hinge and lower hinge out, and then I'm gonna see if I can actually just lift the door off of the hinges. That way I can fix the bracket, because now that it's a little bit more light out, you can actually see the bracket right here is a little separated. That should be right up against the A-post, and it's not. So I'll be curious to see what the front end of that looks like, if it's bent at all. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're gonna get the window fixed, and then back it out, and we'll see if we can get all this mossy mold and scuzz out. The other plan is, while we're washing, I'm actually going to run the ozone generator on the inside of it, so when I get back into it again to actually start cleaning the inside, it doesn't smell as bad. It helps to initially knock down the odor, but you need to fully clean the inside of it and then run the ozone machine again, and then you won't have any odors in it. But it's the first way to initially kill all the mold and whatever biological material might be inside of this still. Yummy. Oh, nice little Bose carrying case. Any shards of glass, leaves, lots and lots of leaves. Lots and lots of leaves.
Ow.
Most of the window is in the seat right now. I'll have to vacuum this before I take it out, but I kind of want to get the door off so I can actually get in here. Oh my God. This seat is disgusting. Not surprising.
Ew. Is that garbage?
Yeah.
There's gloves inside the tap.
There's lots of things in there, kid.
Ew.
Riley, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Now this is where I get lucky. What's this? Oh, there's a piece that was missing that I needed. This piece is actually for the rearview mirror. Ah, lucky. Yeah. If I find the end of the floor mat, I'd like to pick the whole thing up. I think it's become one with the floor, though.
Today we're going to be doing... Hi, everybody.
Okay.
I'm going to be riding.
Here we go. Slowly back it out. Ah, that's nice.
Bike today, guys.
All the registrations and proof of insurance and everything else is still in it. We'll just leave this aside until I clean it. I'll clean these when I do the outside of the truck. Okay. I'm just gonna get going. Okay, made quite a bit of progress now. You can see the bottom of the seat, and there's still some glass, and oh, I can't wait to get up in there and see what's on the other side of that, because that is definitely remnants of a mouse nest. So I'm sure that cover for where the HVAC system is right full. But got all 3 bolts out. So now I'm going to, the reason why I had to clean this all up is I got to take this lower trim piece off, and then that trim piece off to get all the plugs, so I can pull the plugs out of the way. Then I can just lift the door right up and take the door right off. So that's kind of where we're at. This is just a ton of fun, because I can't open the door any further because it's crushing right up against the fender, and I don't want to cause any more damage because it's already starting to dent the fender in quite a bit right there. So I'm kind of hoping I can get behind it and pull it all back out. I can't remember how much room's actually here. I don't think there's much. We'll see. We'll see. So guys, I wanted to open up the back hatch to let a little bit of the odor out, and look at the size of this spider. God, I hate those things. So there's a spider in there now, and I've been driving in that thing. I'm just gonna set it on fire. That's it. I'm setting this thing on fire. This is why I want to get the window fixed, because the ozone machine is gonna take care of that problem. He's not gonna live much longer. Ugh. Okay. I know it's somewhere in here. I'm going to start pulling some of this out, and I might run like a little girl. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of spiders and snakes. Snakes more than spiders, though. Spiders I can kind of tolerate. Snakes, no. If it jumps at me, you'll know, because I'm gonna have a heart attack right here and be dead. I haven't gone through any of this yet. I just kind of left it here. Obviously, this thing I moved in and out a few times. We're gonna leave this out now. We don't need this in here anymore. This has to go on the truck. Spare tire. I just throw that over there. All-purpose plastic. That might come in handy. Never. No, it went under the seat. Oh. More light bulbs. Let's just pull this rug out. Oh, that's nice. Wonderful. See? My joke about the hobo thing, I think the hobo might have peed there. I don't know. Move this box. So I am willing to guess that it's underneath the seat right now. And I don't know if I want to get in there just yet. So I think I'm going to stick with getting the door off, fix the glass, close it up and run the ozone machine, and then I'll probably find him resting peacefully underneath the seat, I'm hoping. Because I don't think anything's going to be alive after I run that machine. We're just gonna close this and pretend I never saw that. My wife has talked me into pulling the seat out. I don't really want to. Oh, it smells so good in here. I'm telling you. It stinks worse back here than it does up there. Okay. 1 is the down. I think 2 is out. So we're gonna pull this. I don't know where it is. It's not under the seat. Which means it might be in the seat. It might be in the carpet. It might be in the plastic. I'm not really sure. I don't really want to get in here. I was crawling in here the other day. That's the worst part. I'm not sure what all this is. It's almost like something leaked all inside of here. But there's nothing leaking. Oh, it's not even leaking. Whew. Oh, it stinks in there. I think there's a dead rodent in there. I'm pretty confident there's a dead rodent on the other side of this. That's what I think all this is. Because when I opened this up here, that left out a nice little waft. Boy, I do intend on pulling these sides out so I can get the carpet out. So we'll know if there's anything behind there, because that's got to come off to get the carpet out. That's about the easiest. Little jumpy. She's egging me behind the camera. She's saying, "Get in there, you baby. Stop crying about it." I don't remember how these come out. I know that's for the back. Huh. Hold on. Hold on. Ah! Yee. Double yee. Don't know where it is. It's somewhere. I'm going in. If the show stops showing, I didn't make it. The movie stops being made by the TV show. I'm not really sure what you call this. Why aren't you releasing? Huh. Well, I'm not sure where it went. It obviously has a nice little hiding spot somewhere in there. So I do know that once I run that ozone machine, there will be nothing left of it. So I'm hoping I find it then when I pull the whole inside out. So I think we're just going to go back to the door, get the door off, put the glass in, close it up. I got to brave it one more time, get in it so I can back it out so we can get it washed tonight. Because it needs it. But we're going to put this back in because I want to get rid of the odors. So we'll just kind of that in and close that up. Gotten the door open. We actually fixed this hinge. The trick is you put a large deep well socket in it and then force the door shut and it bends the hinge back in. But the problem we're running into is it's still rubbing on the fender. So, and it's kind of loose. So we're going to take it off because when I noticed it yesterday, the bottom of the actual door hinge down here, one of the brackets is slightly bent. So we're gonna see if we can bend that back and fix it. Door panel's off. Thanks to some expert advice that I don't have. See all the glass down in the bottom of the door. All of this up here. This is nice. It smells so good in here. Nothing like hobo pee. So we now have the fender about as straight as it's going to get all through here without replacing it. It needs to be, because all in here is all kinked and separated actually. So this fender's going to have to be replaced anyways. And the door, the hinge I was talking about here, is worn. It's actually cracked. Without replacing the door, there's no fixing it. So for now, we're just going to throw the door on it, put the glass in. I'll eventually have to replace the door and replace probably both fenders, because the other side's got enough creases in it. I don't think they'll be able to fix it. This one's definitely going to have to be replaced because the metal separated off of it, and it's pretty mangled. I'd be surprised if they can fix it. Okay, I lost a ton of footage because the phone died. Apparently didn't charge last night. So here's where we're at. The window motor has been fixed. It was actually up too far, so it was off the track, so I had to take the whole thing out, put that all back together. The nice thing now is that the door actually closes. The hinges are pretty messed up still, but don't mind the god-awful mess there that it's going to have to get fixed someday anyways. Big thing is it doesn't touch anymore, and that gap when I first got it, totally gone. Way better than it was. And it opens without crunching and cracking and everything else. So now the next step's going to be is to actually put the glass in. I've got the track pretty much all cleaned out, so there should be no shards of glass left in it. So I can put the glass in the track, bolt it in, then we can close the window, and then we can start working on getting the outside done while the inside gets its ozone treatment. So this may very well get its first wash today. And there, now there's finally a piece of glass in there, and it works nicely actually. Goes up and down nice. So now we can close it up. That means we're gonna finally start on the washing stage. Went down to the parts store, got the cooler line that was actually surprisingly cheap, and I got extremely lucky because the one that's leaking here actually just comes right up to the upper part of the radiator, so I don't have to go all the way back to transmission. So I'm pretty excited about that because that's going to save me a ton of time and a ton of work. So really all I got to do is get the grill off the front of it. Luckily the lower section of the bumper is still off, which I'm assuming is probably why it was off, because I'm guessing that when the original agency owned this, that started leaking and they took the lower section of the bumper off. So I got kind of lucky with that. So I'm gonna get some tools, start getting this whole thing taken off, this upper cover. I'm gonna take the air intake out of the throttle body assembly so that way I can get a little more room in there. This is it's actually pretty easy. It's just 2 E-clips, and then you just pull the tube out. It's held in there with O-rings and E-clips, so it's not a difficult change. But get that in there, and then that'll hopefully stop this thing from leaking. I still think the power steering fluid is leaking somewhere. I'm not totally sure where, because it's kind of hard to see, but it looks a little wet down in there on the side of the pump. It's just something I have to keep an eye on. Okay, so it's finally in after we shot the E-clips across the garage a few hundred times. Hope to God moving all around, the ones around didn't cause anything else to leak. So now I'm going to work on getting the vacuum in here. I'm going to try and clean up all this stuff. Get all that stuff sucked up and cleaned up. Pull out the rest of the vines. And then I'm going to start it, make sure that the 2 lines aren't leaking and nothing else is leaking. This, I have a feeling the oil cooler eventually is going to need to be replaced, because that's pretty nasty looking. Focus. All right, got the air box all put back in. So now we're going to start it and make sure it's not leaking. No leaks. No leaks, other than a very whiny steering pump. Well, that's good. I think we fixed it. Okay, now that that's done, we can start putting the front end back together. I don't know if we'll put the lower section of the bumper in yet today, but some of this done. This side is broke. All right. For the most part, everything's back together under the hood. I'm going to check the power steering fluid again, make sure it's holding. Top off the brake reservoir. Okay, transmission cooler line's fixed. Brake line's fixed. Windows finally put in there. Door fixed, so we can open and close this door now. Everything, I think, is better enough to where we're going to put the ozone machine in and see if we can get rid of a lot of that smell. Initially, after I clean it, the rest of it will go, and then after 30 minutes, we're going to get this stuff knocked off. All right, guys, it's going to be a wrap today. Our poor Suburban's going to have to wait until tomorrow when I can start detailing it. But a positive note, all the mechanical stuff's fixed. I could register and start driving it, but the inside's kind of nasty. Really stinky. So we're going to hold off on that until I get the entire inside done. It's a good thing is now I can get in that door on the one side. It rained, so it's got its first wash. But next week's episode is just going to be strictly, truly detailing this thing. We're going to get the outside paint corrected as best we can. I've got a couple ideas of mine. We're going to try basically doing almost inexpensive, as the truck was kind of inexpensive to me, so I'm trying to save some money. I think I've pretty much made up my mind. I don't think I'm going to get rid of it. I think I'm going to keep it. It's kind of grown on me, and I've put in a lot of work into this thing. So please like, subscribe, have that bell notification turned on, and we'll catch you next week. Bonus footage, for any of you wondering, Frank unfortunately didn't make it. As you saw in the first picture at the beginning, I actually found him on the driver's seat when I backed this up to do the door. I think he wanted to say hi to me one more time. Unfortunately for him, that was his demise. So he's now resting peacefully. I'm hoping I don't find any of his friends. So Frank is no more. And I see my light just shut off. Now my light's back on. That's all. Bye-bye now.